What is up, you little... I don't even know what I want to call you. I'll call you something nice because life is hard. No need for name calling today. I'm doing pretty fast today because I have crap to do, but I gotta talk to you guys. Yeah, I'm not talking about the coronation. There's other things to talk about. Let's see what we got. Still can't get over the Nazi Latino or Hispanic or whatever. I know they're all not racist, but he identifies as white. But he had big swastikas tattooed on him. Very weird. The writers are still on strike. So yeah, that's the thing. Some trash shows. Although shows never really recover from COVID, so what do you know? Look at this. Alleged pedophile fashion mogul accused billionaire neighbor of KKK member in $15 million smear campaign. The $203 million award for the largest ever issued defamation case in New York State ends a decade-long dispute between the two men. That money was long, huh? That's how rich people fight. That they are suing each other for that much money. But they went into a whole smear campaign together. Disgraced fashion mogul Peter Engard launched a $15 million smear campaign against his billionaire neighbor in the Bahamas, including portraying him as a member of the Ku Klux Klan. For details from the bombshell ruling, the Canadian-born playboy, who is cooling his heels in the Toronto jail as he awaits his trial on multiple charges of sexual assault and forcible confinement, was ordered to pay the largest sum of defamation case in the New York State history. His nearly decade-long legal battle with the hedge fund manager Louis Bacon began years before over a shared driveway near a beach in Bahamas that made them famous in the James Bond Thunderball movie. It escalated when Bacon filed a suit in 2015 after the wild-haired, I don't know how you say his last name, accused the founder of being everything from a white supremacist to an inside trader. The New York judge ruled that Engard, 81, spread malicious falsehood about Bacon by hiring more than 24 people for a $15 million smear campaign, and included TV ads, radio, everything. Bacon's lawyer also alleged that he had urged the editor of Bahamas publication to run a doctor version of Financial Times, headlining him. In total, Bacon filed 11 defamation suits against him. Bacon, who now lives in the UK, told the court he has spent more than $53 million to investigate and counteract his campaign. Engard, the founder of a women's fashion company, cannot be reached for comment because he's in jail. So while he was doing all that over their little rich people driveway, he's going to jail for other stuff. Very interesting. Rich people problems. More people are arrested as chaos erupts during the New York City protests over the murder of Jordan Neely. I guess the Knicks lost. They lost game 4. So they're still in it though. So nothing to report. White House bans the post from Biden event as Hunter indictment looms and has nearly 20 seats emptied. Oh, come on, Biden. You got to play nice. Can't be banning people from talking about Hunter. 4 whales die in days as wind farmers create death zone as CX green space. Guess these wind turbines are killing the whales. Weird. Cops allegedly waterboarded suspects with milk, tried to use sex toys on them. What the heck? This is in Jackson, Mississippi. Sheriff's deputies are already under investigation for possible civil rights violations after allegedly placing a gun in a black man's mouth and firing it, are now also being accused of attempting to assault him with a second black man with a sex toy during the interrogation. Jeez. They have filed civil charges and all that. He accused 6 deputies of bursting into the home where he was visiting a friend January 24th, putting a gun in his mouth and firing after nearly 2 hours of torture. Wow. So, yeah, those dudes are under investigation. Said they stripped them too naked, forced them to take a shower together, attempted to use sex toys on them. I'm like, did they even get convicted of anything? They're requesting body camera footage, but they don't have it, of course. He was the person that was the victim, and this was charged with possessing 2 grams of methamphetamine and aggravated assault on a police officer. Parker was charged with 2 misdemeanor possession and paraphernalia. Meanwhile, no deputy has been disciplined or terminated, and all the deputies are still roaming the public at large. Yeah, y'all gotta be careful out here. I mean, I get y'all have to get it how y'all live, but you don't know what kind of crazy cops you're gonna come across. The YouTube sensation, also known as Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast, has purchased multiple homes on cul-de-sac near Gainesville for those closest to him. So he's purchased some homes for his employees. Would you want to live I get it, but would you want to live like right by your boss for real though? He's buying out a neighborhood for himself, his family, and his employees. In the last couple of years, this 25-year-old has built a reputation of his philanthropic endeavors and sensational YouTube videos, and he has purchased 5 modest separate homes in the area he grew up in, with an accumulated worth of $54 million with 40 billion views. Instead, when Donaldson isn't setting up stunts, pranks, and that, he's living like an average American, far from Hollywood style and glam. He purchased his home that went up for sale in what would be his first one on the street in 2018 for $320,000. He's gonna need some serious security though, man. But that's cool. He's buying all that property up. I still don't know if I want to live on the same block as my boss though. It's like, can I get a house across town just in case I want to skip work? Over the Royals. A teen pepper sprays teacher after he confiscated her phone. Y'all know these kids are addicted to their phones. Hats off to teachers these days, man, because you really can't do much these days. Britney Spears' alarming post-conservatorship life. People are still, y'all wanted her free. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all wanted her free, and the girl is more scandal about her now than before she was free. And this guy she's with, who knows what is going on with that, but yeah. People were saying Britney's an AI, all the above. I think because, like I said, I'm kind of in a time crunch here. I'm going to jump into some story times, but I'm always wondering myself what's happening in Reddit, in these Reddit streets. So let me hop over here right quick. And this is funny, straight people, when it was the moment that you discovered you were straight. I don't find anything attractive about women like that. So I think when I first saw, like, and I don't say, like, as far as like straight, I've always liked boys. I think boys are cute when I was younger, obviously. I've always had crush. I've never had feelings for girls in that manner. And then when you get older, you start seeing the print and the muscles and the beard and the this and that. The list is going on. Let's see what other people are talking about. Eating a rotisserie chicken in Home Depot parking lot at 2 a.m. How's that make you straight? So I was smoking this penis like a Cuban meat cigar, and then I said to myself, you don't got the knees for this. Straight ever since. Stupid. In the 3rd grade, I had the biggest crush on a boy named Carl. This boy put butterflies in my stomach, and I wanted to make him smile and really like me. Asked for around, blah, blah, blah. The boy crush. Yeah, I mean, mine was Foursquare. I was playing Foursquare with this boy, and I was like, he's cute. And that was that. Somebody said their mom was convinced I was a lesbian because 9-year-old me didn't find Chris Brown or Usher cute, but 9-year-old me was kissing a boy under the slide when middle school me didn't find boys at school attractive because they were mean or groped me too much. Then the girls in high school started to gain interest in high school me, and when they did, I was flustered and too shy, embarrassed to pursue them. Didn't feel a strong sexual or romantic attraction towards girls like I did with guys. Avoided relationships like the plague, except junior year. I thought I was pansexual, but judging my history and feelings, it's safe to say I'm straight. Mom asked me every 3 years if I was lesbian. I never showed any interest in boys. Reality, she was strict, and I feared I would be pregnant at 16. I just kept my relationships a secret. Yeah, I mean, I think you don't get the whole sexual attraction till you get older, but yeah, interesting. What is the best non-sexual physical pleasure that you enjoy feeling? Mine will always be taking off my bra, dude. Taking off my bra. Somebody said when their scalp gets massaged. 3 a.m. dehydrated water guzzling. I love drinking water after I brush my teeth. It's my favorite feeling too. Hugs. I'm not a hugger. I like my husband rubs my back. Waking up on your own comfortably when it's not too hot or cold and you can stretch and relax. I actually like getting in the bed. Like getting in the bed to some crisp sheets. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want more of it. Let's get into these story times because I'm in a time crunch.
Came online to admit that she somehow gave a little boy in a matter of 15 minutes the varicella zoster virus. Now, I'm not going to be using the H word. I'm going to be using the varicella zoster virus. Let's go on and roll this footage with this little girl.
I have herpes. It's because I put it on the internet about 2 weeks before this shit went down and told people that that I had that shit. And so whenever that shit happened in the bathroom, I was out of my mind drunk. And it's kind of hard to be able to tell somebody when something happens that fast. I went into the bathroom after my friend, making sure she was straight because she went to the wrong bathroom. And she ended up going into a stall, so I went in the one next to her because some dude was in front of her trying to protect her door, so nobody came after her. So I went into the one right next to her, went to the bathroom. All that shit happened so fast. Y'all can't expect me to be able to do that fast, be able to say it that fast. I mean, it happens, but my name is getting dragged around the whole fucking city, all the way to Miami and Texas, when none of y'all came to me asking me what the fuck happened. None of y'all know who the fuck I am.
So apparently she went into the bathroom and had sex with a guy, and then told him after that she had herpes. Now here's my issue with the varicella zoster virus. Okay, wasn't supposed to say the H word. Cost me $4 million. Listen, it's this. First of all, you have an outbreak. You can really only transmit it if you have an outbreak. Now, if you knowingly spread your look when you had an outbreak, then it would be transmittable. If you're taking your medications, you should be fine. The same with HIV. So I don't even understand why this is a conversation. And then why would you do that to him? Because it is borderline embarrassing for a young boy. Kind of like you go looking for something, bitch, you gonna find it. Okay?
And a lot of y'all just don't go to the doctor. Because y'all would, if y'all had regular exams, y'all would know what y'all have. But yes, you're responsible, but y'all better be watching for these bumps.
This is the video that Bill Gates put together, along with the team, complete with simulated news reports like this. This is really what they're preparing for us. This video is called Get Ready. Watch. Catastrophic contagion, a global challenge. Breaking news.
Two Latin American countries alerted the WHO of several outbreaks of a new infectious disease that's mysteriously appearing across the region. Severe epidemic enterovirus respiratory syndrome 2025.
Oh, so that's the name, guys. Just write this down. That'll be the name of it, okay? SEERS. It's going to be called the Severe Epidemic Enterovirus Respiratory Syndrome, and 2025 is when we'll see it.
You know, that Bill Gates rabbit hole is something else. A lot of people are leery of old Bill and his buying of crops and his interest in vaccines, and yeah.
America, and we have a bombshell story for you tonight. And folks, it is a doozy. It could be bigger than Watergate. It could bring down the Biden administration. It's that big. It is that massive. Folks, please, before we get started, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps our channel out. Now, a lot of the news media has been reporting this story, but they're not reporting exactly how big of a deal this is. And what I'm saying to you is this is enough to stop Joe Biden's 2024 campaign. It's enough to stop Joe Biden now. It could be enough to get an impeachment of Joe Biden. That's how massive this story is if all the reporting is accurate from the Wall Street Journal, Fox News, CNN, and all the other news sources who I've had a chance to listen to who have reported on this story. So, in essence, there is an IRS whistleblower who wants to come forward about the mishandling and political interference in a, quote, high-profile investigation. Now, sources have told Fox News, the Wall Street Journal, CNN, and other outlets that it is in reference to the Hunter Biden investigation, and there's evidence that a high-profile person in the Biden administration may have lied under oath to Congress. So, this is what this IRS agent claims to have. We, of course, have no proof of this. Nobody has any proof of this yet because the IRS agent is seeking protection from Congress before they can come forward, and there's reasons for that. I'm going to have Bret Baier explain the situation, but after that, I'm going to show you two clips of Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary, basically tripping over herself to avoid actually addressing the topic.
At the Pentagon, Jennifer, thank you. Tonight we have new information about last night's lead story. An IRS investigator wants whistleblower protection to talk about the mishandling of a high-level investigation, which sources tell Fox is the Hunter Biden probe. Here's Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel.
The White House is defending President Biden after explosive revelations from a senior IRS agent turned whistleblower. Attorney Mark Lytle says his client has information of, quote, preferential treatment and politics about an ongoing and sensitive investigation of a high-profile, controversial subject. A source familiar tells Fox it is the Hunter Biden criminal probe. Lytle says the disclosures contradict sworn testimony to Congress by a senior political appointee. A source familiar points to a March 1st Senate hearing when Attorney General Merrick Garland testified the U.S. Attorney in Delaware, David Weiss, has independence to pursue charges.
He has been advised that he is not to be denied anything that he needs, and if that were to happen, it should ascend through the department's ranks, and I have not heard anything from that office to suggest that they're not able to do everything that the U.S. Attorney wants to do.
The House Oversight Chairman accuses the Biden administration of working overtime to prevent the Biden family from facing any consequences. And other leading lawmakers suggest this is a serious matter.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about this earlier, but I don't think it'll bring down the Biden presidency. But Hunter We'll see how long he can evade. I mean, Trump's kids evaded a lot of charges. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. This is America.
Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Juanita Thomas. I am a human trafficking survivor, and I was in a public place that does human trafficking. It sits in 31 big cities across the United States of America. I did share my testimony, my story back last year, but I never exposed the name of the place. But today, God has gave me the sign, the confirmation to expose the name of the place that I was in. So please bear with me as I get ready to share my story. So I do want to say before I get started, I did contact the FBI. I contact a whistleblower. I contact a lawyer. I contact my local police station. I contact a lot of people and a lot of big, companies, I guess. I contact a lot of people, but none of it worked. Like, I don't know if God didn't want nobody on this situation that happened or the situation that's going on in the earth, because he wants to get the glory when this place is exposed. So after I did contact all those people and nothing happened, I just left it alone and I waited until God gave me the sign to release the name of the place. So I am going to start in the very beginning so that you can get a clear understanding of every single thing. So the year of 2021, everything that happened, I never thought it would happen. Like, I was never ready for all of that stuff that happened in 2021. But I did make a promise to God. If he allowed me to see my 21st birthday, I would give my life to him. And I didn't. 21st birthday came and I did not give my life to God because I had so many distractions going on around me. So further down the line, further down the year, 2021 August, I quit my job and I had quit my 9-to-5. I was on that job for 2 years because I heard the Lord tell me to quit my job. So I left that job and I had quit. So I was able to live off of my business for a couple months until there was this downfall. Everything just started to go. So I lost all the material things that I did own, down to my apartment, my storage unit with all my business supplies in it. My car was vandalized, but nobody knew that my car payments were adding up to where I couldn't afford it anymore. So that was nobody but God in that situation. So at that point, I was like, everything is happening for a reason. Like, God, I am trusting you. I cried out to him. I prayed to him. I said, what should I do next? So I went to one of my friend's house one day, and one of her friends actually came over, and she was saying that you can get a lot of help up north. So I'm like, okay, because I was telling everybody I was going to move up north with my family, but I really wasn't going to. I just didn't know how I was going to get up there. So she said you can get a lot of help up north by going to shelters. So I was like, all right, cool. I took what she said and I ran with it. So when I went back home, I went on.
Okay, dang it, her story caught out. I'll have to catch the other part to find out what the place is exposed, but I'm assuming Hatterville Shelter or DFS, but I'll try to find the second part.
Hey, what's up, TikTok? This your boy Gerald Jackson from the North Carolina Beat. I'm remaking this video. Okay, so a Moultrie, Georgia man named Kentavious White, he's 26 years old. Last Thursday, he killed his mom, his grandmother, and his boss. So far, what we know is that moments before Kentavious took out his mom and his grandmother, he posted a very, 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 very disturbing post on Facebook, and it was his last post. Now, in the post, Kentavious alleged that he was molested by his two blood brothers. After Kentavious made that post, he then killed his mom, 50-year-old Susie Arnold. Kentavious then went to his grandmother's house, which was next door, and killed her, 74-year-old Hilda Marshall. After Kentavious killed his grandmother and his mom, he drove to his job in downtown Moultrie and killed his boss, Amia Smith. According to police and the video that they watched at the McDonald's, they said that Kentavious called Amia to the door and shot her, killing her. Then he went inside the store and took his own life. At this time, there's no information on the motive as to why Kentavious killed his boss lady, Amia Smith. Now, in this post that Kentavious made before he killed his mom and his grandmother, He tagged another person, and he also tagged his brother. Now, this young man is Ken White. This is Cold Hearted, the person that Kentavious tagged in that molestation Facebook post. Now, Ken White took to social media and defended himself, saying that he was in prison for 2 years. Ken took to social media, as you can see his post. He said that being in prison for 2 years and hearing that your own flesh and blood has done the impossible to family is killing me, literally. I don't know where my little brother's mindset was, if he was on anything or what he was going through, but I know this wasn't him at all. Then he gets to addressing the allegations. He says, I've never molested or even touched my brother in any way, and to believe otherwise is beyond foolish on whoever part. And I can honestly say I can care less who believes me or not, and that's on my soul. This past Saturday, Ken White went back to his Facebook page, and he said that he don't even believe his brother made that post. Either his brother was hacked, drugged, or was dealing with mental illness. Now, why would this black king just wake up one day and say his two brothers molested him? Why would he come up with that lie? And his mom and his grandmother probably knew about it. Kentavious White's actions isn't justified at all. But y'all got to also understand that people be holding in things such as these allegations that he made. And when they react, it's not always going to be a good reaction. And he probably felt like that he needed to take out two very important people in his life that probably knew about it and didn't even do nothing. You can read more about this story on the ncbeat.com.
So I saw this whole McDonald's murder thing, and I didn't know how deep the story was, but yeah, I mean, I know that people have mental breaks and drugs, but that's kind of overkill to kill your mother, your grandma, and your boss, and seems like a lot. It's a very sad story, all in all.
Julian Hernandez was in the legal custody of his mother when he vanished in Alabama back in August of 2002. At the time, he was just 5 years of age. Fast forward to this past weekend, Jefferson County District Attorney says the 18-year-old was just filling out a college application when he discovered his social security number did not match his name. It was then that he and his school counselor realized he was actually listed in the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children database. And that is when police in Alabama got a phone call.
I received a call from the FBI office in Cleveland asking if Julian Hernandez was still missing. That they saw where he had been missing since 2002. We did some checking, discovered that he was still reported missing, had not been talked to. They went and talked to him. Then they went and talked to the father, and that's when the identification was made.
Short time later, teen's father was arrested. Gene Casares has been working this for us. 13 years? You've got to be kidding me.
And the father, Bobby Hernandez, was arrested on really aggravated identity theft in Ohio because he allegedly falsified to get an Ohio State ID, assuming an identity that he was not. There is his mugshot right there. He's being held on $250,000 bail. But you're right, this all started so innocently, a young little 16-year-old trying to
go to
college, right? And it would have been in 2002 when he was 5 years old that he allegedly was abducted from his mother in Alabama. Now, I just got off the phone with the Vestavia Hills Police Department that tells me, because there are no Ohio charges yet, tells me that federal and state authorities might be looking at right now what charges to bring as we speak. But he also told me, and this is the Public Information Officer, Lieutenant Kevin York, that the mother and father were not married. There may be some issues with charges, he said. It is his biological son, Bobby Hernandez, but he was very well raised and was a very good student. So I actually looked at federal kidnapping laws because it's crossing state lines,
sure,
right? It doesn't include a parent unless there's been a court order saying that that parental right has been terminated. So a lot we don't know about this story at this point, but we did get a statement from, first of all, let's go with the family, the mother of Julian Hernandez that has not had her son for 13 years. She told CNN, "Our family was overjoyed this week to locate Julian and learn that he is safe. We want to thank everyone for their prayers and support during Julian's disappearance." And also the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, they give a little hint of what may be the reality here. They tell us, "We applaud Julian Hernandez for his courage in taking the first steps to find answers about who he is."
How's he doing?
Well, the statement from his mother goes on that please give us our privacy as he is focused on this extremely difficult period of time in his life.
It makes you wonder how many Julian Hernandezes there are in the database.
I know.
Right?
Right, 19-year-old Julian Hernandez stood up in court telling the judge he has forgiven his father for kidnapping him when he was just 5 years old and that he loves him and wants him to be a part of his life.
I don't know what else to say other than not to send my father to jail.
An emotional plea from 18-year-old Julian Hernandez at his father's sentencing. He did not want his face shown on camera.
Everyone wants to talk about all the bad things he's done, and I think that he's done a lot of good.
Asking for leniency for the man who pleaded guilty to kidnapping him 13 years ago. In 2002, defendant Bobby Hernandez took his then 5-year-old son Julian from his Alabama home. He and Julian's mother had a tumultuous relationship. Hernandez moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he created new identities for him and Julian. For 13 years, Julian's mother says she searched for her son. Authorities even using this age progression picture, hoping to find him.
Julian was the center of my life.
Attorney Gloria Allred reading a letter on behalf of Julian's mother in court.
During my darkest moments, I considered suicide. I wanted to die.
Julian discovered he was kidnapped while applying for college last fall, saying his social security number kept coming up invalid. But Julian said he forgives his father, saying he raised him to be the man he is today.
He's raised me well, in my opinion, pushed me far in school, and he's the reason why I get some of the best grades in school and why I'm going to college. He loved me and protected me more than anybody else I've ever known.
Bobby Hernandez showing regret for his actions before the judge sentenced him to 4 years in prison.
I accept full responsibility for everything I did.
Now, Julian has since been reunited with his mother, who lives in Alabama, but he will stay in Cleveland for now so he can finish up high school. But a heartbreaking story all around, George.
Boy, it sure is, Amy. Let's talk more about this now with our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. That testimony for...
All right, kiddies. Mama's got to go. But interesting story. I feel bad for that boy. I mean, yeah, sucks. But guess what? What else sucks? I got to go. Obviously, the bat phone rung. Things got to get done. Yeah. Is it in yet? It's signing off. I'll be back with more hot topics and story time tomorrow, you crazy kids.